Okay, so Wemby in this game where they came back down 25, he's crying, he's emotional.
A lot of people was looking at Wemby after that last game of him crying and showing his passion for this game, and I'm happy and glad to see that. We need that.
And honestly, I agree with Vince, man. This was something that we needed in the league.
You're emotional right now. Can you describe why?
I thought I was about to pass out from the first quarter from exhaustion. So
the day before Wemby, he played against the Pistons and he played 39 minutes and he felt the exhaustion since the Pistons are such a physical team, right? And taking part in back-to-back hard-fought games, man, Wemby was just thinking, oh, I'm going to pass out in the first quarter because of how grueling this back-to-back stretch is.
That's close to being the hardest game of my life. I know it might have not looked like it, but we played a hell of a game against the most physical team in the league yesterday. But played a long-ass game tonight against the physical team as well. I'm about to pass out.
And the thing I love most about Wemby, bro, he cares about the game. He cares about winning. And he is not ashamed to show that. He does not want people to think otherwise. And yet I've noticed the way people talk about Wemby, it's as though, right? It's as though they think, oh, he's doing too much, right? That statement, I keep hearing people make that statement about certain people, you know, that do things that they care about. So I seen recently Pablo Torre made a tweet, right? He was at the Sloan conference where Adam Silver also was at the Sloan conference. And Adam Silver sat on the chair, you know, got interviewed by Sue Bird. And Pablo Torre is like, Adam Silver, all the evidence you need for the Kawhi Bomber case was just a bit closer than you realized this morning. You put it under the chair, right under the chair that Adam Silver sat on. And this is hilarious, obviously. This is a good, master gambit right there, sir. But honestly, a lot of people, what I realized, a lot of people, they're just put off by people like Pablo. I've realized, obviously, he is a millennial, so a lot of his, humor is, people think it's pretty cringe, pretty corny. But there's also a sect of people that are just like, yeah, bro, he's doing too much. And that's the sentiment I want to get at, bro. A lot of people, they're just put off by people that care. That just care about things, bro. There's this attitude that I hate. And it's seeping into every single corner of the internet. Where being a person that cares is considered lame. Being a person that nonchalant seems to be considered cool. It might be weird that I transitioned to anime. That, I grew up watching Naruto, right? And a lot of people, I've realized, a lot of people don't like Naruto, right? They don't like the way he carries himself, the way he's so bombastic about what he wants to do. And he cares. You can tell he cares. He wants to be the Hokage, or whatever the fuck. Sasuke, on the other hand, seems like he's a nonchalant dude. He's too cool for school. And people gravitated towards Sasuke more. They're like, yeah, bro, Naruto's a dork, bro. He's corny. I seen this one video years back. It was this video somebody made. It's called Naruto, the Self-Made Hypocrite, right? And it's honestly one of those videos that, obviously the person, basically trying to say that Naruto's a, Nepo baby, right? He's Bronny James. The thing is, though, he's the Bronny James where, he was born, LeBron basically died. Savannah's dead also. And then also, the person that was, tasked with taking care of him was basically a fucking deadbeat. Abandoned his ass, didn't do much about it. And he was reviled by the whole village. This guy was basically an orphan and he was fucking exiled, it felt like. He was living in the village, but it felt like he wasn't living in the village. Bro, basically, he's a Nepo baby and people hate him for that, right? Now, what the fuck is my point? Obviously, Naruto, he's my favorite character on the show. He's the main character of the show. He's the main protagonist, right? Sasuke is seen as like the anti-hero, especially when he turns, into quite frankly a villain in the show. But then he's like more so an ally to Naruto towards the end. Yada yada yada. Sorry for anybody that hasn't watched this anime yet. I don't know how you must be living under a rock or you're fucking 12 years old, discovering things. Look, man, Naruto's my favorite character, and it's because he cares. It's because of how bombastic he is, how energetic he is. Bro, I love that. That's cool to me. So what Sasuke does, bro, it's like, okay, I guess he's cool, but it's like not as cool as Naruto, right? And that's my point, bro. A lot of people gravitate towards Sasuke because they view what Naruto does as corny. They view what Sasuke is as really cool. So basically in the show, people in the show were basically viewing Naruto as being corny or dork or, really just really an outcast, right? The best way I can put it in the NBA terms, bro, in the world full of ants, bro, be a Wemby, man. Just Like the way Wemby carries himself, he's so vulnerable and he's open about being vulnerable sometimes on the things that he goes through in life as he's trying to pursue a championship for the Spurs.
We need that passion back into our league. Someone that really cares about the regular season.
And every game matters.
And every game really matters, especially this time of year, right? Because these guys are going for seeding. And I think that permeates throughout his teammates and throughout Spurs Nation. So I just wanted to say that because I know a lot of people was kind of laughing at that. That was a real hard-fought game, and he felt like he put a lot of energy into that, and I'm glad he showed that type of passion.
Bro, and shout out NBC, bro. In the world full of ESPNs, bro, be an NBC, bro. They actually care about the game. They're covering the game like it should be covered, bro. Finally, we get a network that actually broadcasts the game and basically tells the story of the game through a lot of the players. Because I'm not going to lie, bro. We've been missing this for a decade, bro. What this dude Wemby represents, I hope, is a change of culture throughout the world, bro. Not just in the US and Canada, not just in the European regions, everywhere, bro. We got to make caring cool again because stuff like this matters, bro. It matters. Every game matters. How else are we going to say, oh shit, this game actually matters if the players don't care?
Wemby back the other way. Full gallop basket. Wembanyama! Get out of here! Oh my goodness!
I feel very blessed to be able to witness this in real time. Wemby, his ascension in the league. In year 3, the Spurs looking like a true contender in the Western Conference. Another team that a lot of people view as corny, right? Especially last year before they won the championship. OKC, right? They all have these people bundled up in the post game. I think Memphis was doing this first, right? Like a lot of people used to laugh and clown these, teams for doing this. Like I'm not gonna lie, bro. A red flag for me, a pet peeve of mine, bro. If you call something corny, I'm gonna look at you weird because most likely that finger that you're calling corny isn't corny. This goes in line with why it irked me that Theo Pinson, was frustrated, that Giannis was frustrated. Like, bro, the dude clearly cares about winning, right? And he's showing it on the court day in and day out. And speaking of, Wemby, he shows. And speaking of that effort, bro, Wemby, he showed that effort during the All-Star weekend, bro. He was one of the few players on Team World that was actually playing hard every minute, especially when you had these two slobs and Luka and Doncic. They're just basically flirting with each other throughout the All-Star event. It was just so annoying watching them because as soon as Wemby was off the floor, Cat was on the floor, you could tell Team World just didn't look the same. They didn't have that same energy, even though they did still make shots. Obviously, these guys are all-stars. And let's just say they were also missing Giannis in this game, which obviously would have been another player that would have played with passion. Shea as well didn't play as well. That's a big one. And on that same point, bro, I think I do want to make a video, diving into Michael Jordan and, his thoughts on the GOAT debate because it was actually a pretty good take from Michael Jordan. Something that I actually hope that more people talk about on ESPN. I actually want to see what ESPN has to say about Jordan's comments because if they take it the wrong way, hey man, that's just further, inching us closer to the zeitgeist that I'm hoping will reach at this point where we start to care more about the game and we actually start to cover the game like it should be covered. All right, I'm out. Peace out.